Finding your comfortable seat. Remember that very often if you get your hips or your butt up just a little higher than your knees, it eases the discomfort that is often associated with sitting for long periods of time. I even put blocks sometimes underneath like my thighs to help support my knees, and that, for me, that makes a tremendous difference in the way that my hips are supported and the way that my lower back then is really comforted and nourished by the way that I'm sitting. Your shoulders might roll back and down, let them relax. And always an invitation to let the eyes gentle close. We've got all our props and all our goodies nearby for this practice of yin. Just thinking very kind of straightforward. There's yin and there's yang, and a lot of our yoga practices end up being like a yang, a movement-based practice where we're really activating our energy. In yin, it's quite the opposite. It's a very slow and very meditative practice where we're working with the rest and digest part of the nervous system, allowing ourselves to slow down and to relax into the poses that we find. As we work with the body in yin, our intention is to also work with the mind, to be able to relax the mind. Most of us, if we check in right now, our mind is likely fairly active, maybe thinking about different things that are on your plate. Maybe thinking about one or two things even. Sometimes the mind even grabs hold of one thing and it thinks loudly and repetitively about one thing. That's what the mind does. So as you notice from this place of just observing. As you soften your face, bring your awareness to your breath. Feel the coolness of the air as it moves in through your nostrils. A little bit warmer as it moves out. As your body breathes, allow yourself to relax into that breath. Almost as though in your body you could create a sense of softness with the inhale and a sense of softness with the exhale. Just relaxing into the breath. As we use our breath to center into where we are right now and into this practice, just remind yourself that As we practice yin, we work with the point where we first feel sensation. And so we might barely move into a position or a pose, like barely into it, and notice how it feels in the body. And if the body allows a greater expression of that pose, then we move in just a tiny bit more and a tiny bit more. But it's very, very deliberate in how far you go. People often will want clarification on what like allow means here. And for me, it means that while there's sensation in my body, there's also like an openness that says truly like my body is supporting this, that there's not sharp shooting pain, that there's nothing that is like completely overwhelming my system. It's really like asking the body permission. Once it's given us that permission, then it is again about relaxing into it, using this breath to find softness, to find stillness. With your next inhale, let your breath lengthen so that your belly expands and deflates. You'll inhale to fill the belly, but keep filling so your ribs fill. Fill all the way to your collarbone. And then empty from the collarbone, the ribs, and the belly. Another belly, ribs, and collarbone. Emptying from the collarbone, the ribs, and the belly. Just breathing that lengthened breath, a reminder to you as to how to use the breath to relax a little bit more, to quiet the mind a little bit more, or to focus the attention. Some of us, that breath will be aided by a vibration that can happen in the throat called ujjayi. And it's as though you lift the glottis in the back of your throat and you create a sound. It is like the ocean, like the waves. And you let that vibration, let it soothe your nervous system, your body, your mind. Really handy breath when we're practicing yin. Seems like sometimes we're afraid to make noises in our yoga practice. From the comfort of our home where nobody's watching, Nobody's listening. I just invite you this morning to allow any noise, with your next inhale, the palms will come together, the thumbs will tug at the heart. You might decide to bow the chin towards the chest, taking a moment to identify an intention or to hear your heart tell you what it needs this morning, your body to tell you what it needs, your mind to tell you what it needs. When your intention is set, you'll mindfully draw the thumbs to the forehead, that space right between the eyebrows. And then bring the thumbs back to the heart, taking a breath in. Let your exhale drop your hands to your lap and your chin down to your chest. I'm going to start with the neck, obviously, in the practice of yin. Just letting the head hang heavy, the back of the neck lengthen, the shoulders soft, feeling the breath. And acknowledging just the stillness here and any struggle that might happen inside of you with the idea of stillness. Everywhere we go today will be there. I'd say for at least 2 minutes, some places 3 or 4. Relaxing into every breath. And the body relaxing, the mind relaxing. And very slowly, I'm going to bring that head back to the center, nice and slow. Pause with your head at the center, just breathe. Very mindfully, your right ear will begin to drop towards the right shoulder. Remember, go to that place where you first feel sensation and pause, observe the sensation. Almost as though you're asking the body, is it Is it okay? Will it serve me to go a little deeper? Relaxing in to that expression, observing sensation. Maybe asking body again, does it serve me to allow the ear to drop just a little bit more? At any time your head gets too heavy, you can always bring that right arm up to the right side of the head and just support it a little bit. Remember you're breathing and relaxing into every breath. The inhale, the exhale. Maybe you notice the pause at the top and bottom of the breath, that being another cue to just relax into this. Let's do just 2 more breaths. Really slowly, your head will come back to the middle. You'll pause, maybe even notice the difference between right side, left side. And as you're ready, you'll let the left ear begin to drop towards the left shoulder, pausing at that place of first sensation, observing it, allowing the wisdom of your body to guide you as to whether you go deeper. Letting yourself soften into this. Every part of you is soft. Notice if the mind is thinking, whether it's thinking of things ahead or behind, and gently bring it back to right here, right now in the body. Next inhale, the head is slowly, slowly, slowly going to come back to the middle. If your eyes are closed, let them open just a tiny bit and then close them again. Tiny bit and close them again. And slowly open the eyes, focus on really nothing or everything. Just giving yourself a sec to come back to the space, to come back to the external a little bit. Just enough that you can bring your hands to the mat or to the ground. Lean back enough that you can uncross those legs if they're crossed. Bend the knees. Let the feet just be on the floor. Your hands will support you. And you'll let those knees windshield wiper a bit from side to side, just so that you can release your hips and your lower back from all this sitting. All right, so we've got our goodies. The first place we're gonna go in yin, it's called caterpillar pose, but in our regular practice, it's just a forward fold. And so you want your legs straight out in front. And some of us might benefit from having like a blanket or even a block underneath your knees so that your knees aren't like gonna hyperextend. And your legs are straight-ish. Remember, in yin, we don't really focus on alignment. Like if our feet want to flop out, we let them flop out. We don't have our core engaged. Like we're very much working in a place where our body is cool and the muscles then aren't stretching. We're after the connective tissue, which is like the ligaments, the tendons, the fascia. I bring a bolster, at least a bolster, to my lap. Sometimes I stack a couple, but we're gonna let our foreheads like come down towards the bolster. Our hips hinge, and if you have enough goodies, like you can set up a resting place for your forehead. That, for me anyways, that makes it really nice so that I'm just supported. Your hips are hinging, but remember, it's really your point of first sensation. And so you might barely be hinging and barely be bending. However, when you get to that place, your intention is going to be to soften and to let your body and your mind, let yourself relax into this and use that breath. Maybe even visualize, like with your inhale, your body sinks and gets heavy. With your exhale, it gets even heavier and it relaxes down. If there's resistance to your stillness, just notice, acknowledge. Hard for us to be still. You might check in with the wisdom of your body and see if moving a little deeper into this is appropriate. Maybe you need to pull out a little bit, but listen to that body. Adjust accordingly. You're about halfway through this position. Take 2 more breaths. Very, very slowly and mindfully, you're bringing yourself back up. Pausing right there in the middle, observing, noticing body, mind, opening eyes if they're closed so that you can move the legs out and apart. And they don't have to be as wide as you can get them, but get them wide-ish. And again, if you're sitting on a blanket, like folded over right under your sits bones, it helps this sitting position immensely for your lower back and for your hips. We're gonna go over the right leg to start with, and we're getting like muscles of this lower back on the left side. And so again, it might be your bolster, it might be your blocks. Ideally, you have a place to rest the forehead. You gently twist the shoulders and like the chest or the heart over that right leg. Hinge at your hips. Tuck your chin, let your back body bend, and find a place where you've got that like minimum edge as sensation would have it. But then you also have this ability to really soften into and relax. Doesn't matter what your other foot is doing or your other leg. Doesn't even really matter if your left sits bone comes off your ground. Nothing really matters. So often that's the truth when we get kind of caught up in the craziness of life, the things happening around us. If we allow ourselves to just sit with it, very often it's filled with things that we can't control. course, that recognition between not being able to control and having them not matter, those are actually two very different things. And it takes wisdom, lots of wisdom, to hold these things in our heart or in our mind when we know we can't control it, and yet they do matter. Tricky balance of empathy and compassion. Thinking about what's happening in our nation now. Maybe coming back to the breath and back to the body where the awareness is best serving us. There's an opportunity for you to move a little deeper into this. Go for it. Maybe you need to pull out a little bit. We've got about a minute left. Very mindfully, you'll bring yourself back to a seated position, even untwisting your torso so you're back at the middle. A couple breaths, just observing your goodies transfer over to that left side. And maybe it'll be similar as far as what you need to support you, but maybe you go into it just open for the body to tell you what you need rather than expecting it to be a certain way. Your torso, though, will twist over that left leg and you'll make your way back to a place where the hips are hinged a bit, the chin is tucked, the back body is bending. And you're relaxing in with every breath, both the inhale and the exhale serving that purpose. You're about halfway through. Wisdom of the body will direct you whether to shift or adjust. Very mindfully move your way back up with the torso. Untwist it so it's back to the center. Take a couple breaths, just observing. And we've got one more here, which is the wide-legged forward fold. And so you're going to fold to the center, your bolsters, blocks, whatever you've got. You're just adjusting so that in that forward fold, you've got support. And Maggie went right to it. She's got her pillow or whatever it is up so that it can support her forehead as she folds forward. And again, your legs might roll in, they might roll out. Your shoulders will relax. It could be like you're slumping or slouching with the spine. All of that is okay. When you find that place of first sensation, when you first experience this in your body, you're pausing, using your breath to relax, release into this. Every breath to relax, to release. Notice where the mind wanders. Remembering that our energy goes where our attention goes. Especially while we're practicing, we're keeping this energy within our bodies, of nourishing our own beings. So we're really purposeful to try to keep our attention right here. When we're closing today, we're going to close with a loving kindness meditation, which will allow that energy to move out into the world. But for right here, for right now, keep it inside of you. It's really understanding that in order to help others, we have to be nourished ourselves. We have to be taking care of our own selves in order to take care of anyone else. Even if that's your pets, even if that's just phone calls you make to family or to friends. All of that costs you energy. Right now you're filling your own self up. Good, just a couple more breaths. To come out of this, of course, it's nice and slow. Maybe you sit up nice and tall, let that spine realign, let the shoulders roll back and down. You've got your stuff between your legs, go ahead and move it. And then we're gonna let the hands and the arms like help our legs come back to the middle. And once they're in the middle, your hands will come behind you. And again, maybe your knees go side to side like windshield wiper, or maybe they bounce out a little. You're just releasing. Yin is a lot when we're doing it. So you're coming to your back body. If you have a block, bring a block. If you have your blanket, you'll want your blanket folded. We're gonna put it underneath our sacrum with more emphasis on the spine here. And so you'll want it to be able to lift like that flat, bony-ish part of your butt, back of your hips. Yeah, let's do that. So down on the back. And it is gonna create, you're gonna feel it, I'm sure, but it's gonna create like a back bend is what it does. So just lifting those hips up, resting them there. And then your shoulders, of course, you'll wiggle around until you can get them to relax. And once you've got this, it's that check-in with the body. Is it okay for you to straighten a leg? Is it okay for you to straighten both legs? Just see kind of where you're at. And I'll give us a halfway reminder so that if we are just straightening one leg, we can very mindfully switch to the other. For me today, one leg one leg is straight at a time is definitely enough. And so you'll maybe close eyes, come back to breath, and remember that your inhale, it helps you sink into your mat. And your exhale lets you sink even more. If your one knee is bent, it doesn't matter if it's straight up or if it falls out a bit. Good. If you've got just one straight, this is your cue to switch legs. Everything softens. You need to very slowly come to a place where both knees are bent, engaging your legs and your butt, your core enough. You can slide that blanket out, bring your hips to the earth. Roll the shoulders back and down. Let that back body, lower back body, let it be connected with the earth. Your knees then are going to gently fall to the right. And they're just going to fall wherever they fall. If you need your blanket or your cushion or something underneath the thighs for support or between the legs, use your breath and soften. Just a couple more breaths to get your knees to the other side. Your top knee is your leader. Your feet stay on the ground. Very slowly they fall other direction. When you get where you want to be, there's softness in the entire body. You catch your mind still wandering outside of you. Just gently bring it back. Remind yourself that this is still your hour where you're taking in, like you're nourishing your energy so that you can then put it back out there into the world. And remember that the brain is funny in that it doesn't know the difference between like thinking about something and actually doing it. And so when you're thinking about, I don't know, you're thinking about what's happening in our world right now, your brain doesn't know that that's not actually happening to you, or that you're not actually there. And so it's costing you all kinds of energy. Of course, there's a time and place that you're going to send that energy on purpose. But just for a minute or so longer, let your energy be. Let it be right here. Your top knee is your leader. Bring it back to the middle, both knees back. Feel the lower back connected with your ground. Maybe bring the knees in towards the chest just to further support that lower back. Maybe you need to rock a little side to side. We're getting ready to stretch out for Shavasana, and there's different choices. You can certainly lay with your legs just straight and flat. You could put your cushion under your knees, or maybe you decide to use your blanket underneath the back of your shoulders so that it's going to be a heart opener. That's going to be my choice, but you choose what's best for you. If it is your blanket, again, you have it rolled just enough that it can be right underneath like the shoulder blades. If you think about like as a woman where a bra strap might be, you know, if you're a guy physically, like you haven't had that experience, but you can use your mind and imagine where that would be. And then your arms just like roll out and over that, maybe stretched out like a giant T so that the shoulders can relax. Your legs again find their place. And however you're going to situate yourself, your intention is to relax. To use that breath. Your inhale softens you, and your exhale softens you even more. And as our body relaxes into this, our awareness might move to our heart center. And from the heart, our wishes for our own selves to be free of suffering, to live this life with ease, and to be happy. From the heart, we say, may I be free from suffering. May I live this life with ease. And may I be happy. May I be free from suffering. May I live this life with ease. And may I be happy. Allowing that to echo from the heart. Extending out into the body, to your limbs, through the neck to the head. May I be free from suffering. May I live this life with ease. May I be happy. As that extends and expands, bring into your awareness the face of somebody or something that you love. Be something close to you, something easy for you to access in your headspace in order to send this to. May this person or being, may they be happy. May they be free from suffering. May they live this life with ease. May this being be free from suffering. May they live this life with ease. May they be happy. Keep reaching with your heart then and reach out. Maybe it's to other family members or friends, maybe animals, other beings that are special and still held close to you. And from your heart, may they be free from suffering. May they live this life with ease. May they be happy. Let it echo out from your heart to these people within your reach. Free from suffering, living life with ease. And happy. Allow your heart to expand more beyond just those people that are yours, but to those people that might be acquaintances or community members. And to them, send your loving kindness. Expand greater. Maybe it's to those in Montana. Expanding greater. Maybe it's to this half of the nation, the Western United States, but expanding greater to the Eastern. Let it keep expanding, just visualizing your loving kindness, your energy from your heart out and out into the beings in this nation. Of course, you won't stop there. Your loving kindnesses are going to expand greater and reach across the continent, out into other continents, expanding out into the world, encompassing humans and animals, and trees and plants, and rocks and rivers. Maybe your loving kindness expands greater than this earth. Out into the solar system, all the way out. Maybe you don't even have the ability to visualize what's beyond the universe, but you're sending out loving kindness. Allowing that heart of yours to wish for all beings everywhere to be free from suffering, to experience ease, and to be happy. Your awareness then back, all the way back to your own self, to your own body, so that you can wiggle fingers and wiggle toes. And gently bending knees so that you can shift the hips one way or another. Rolling to the side body, likely for a breath. Maybe 2 or 3. When you're ready to transition to a comfortable seat, you'll use your hands and your arms to push yourself up. Finding that comfortable seat. You'll bring your palms together. The thumbs tucked right in at the heart center. Feeling that love, that loving kindness radiate from the heart out. But remembering always that it first goes within. Namaste.